Good morning and welcome to the Land Use and Livability Subcommittee for February 19th, 2020. So we'll start out with call to order, okay, and then call to public. And we have a couple speakers. Jerry, come on down. Jerry is a fixture at our subcommittee.
Hello, Jerry Van Gass, 4610 East Via Estrella. Right next to the mountain preserves, which are pretty much my passion. I was here November 20th, talking about the new Cholla Access Trail, and we've been really discouraged, for the last couple of years that it just seems to be dragging along. And, at that time I said, we've heard all these dates, et cetera, et cetera. And last July, we also heard that there was going to be public meetings, public involvement, input from the biggest stakeholder, the hikers. There's been none to date. There was the rumor this time last year that nothing would happen until all the homes were built, 3-year time frame. The longer this goes along, it's almost looking inadvertently that that's going to happen. So, we're going to keep pushing. The people are going to be heard, whether they're public meetings or not. The media is aware of what's going on, and, we want to see this resolved. We had the water line. People spoke up. They're going to speak up on this. So I hope you listen. And Councilman Garcia wasn't there for the beginning of that November 20th meeting, so I got a DVD for him.
Thank you. And just as a reminder, we cannot speak to any call to public issues because they're not on the agenda. Our next speaker is Jeannie Summer.
Good morning. I'm here this morning because, again, the Piastra Park area was hit by graffiti over the weekend. And I distinguish the difference between graffiti, the art form, and graffiti vandalism as ownership and permission. And while I support and appreciate the work of NSD covering over graffiti vandalism, I think it would be better to find solutions rather than year after year after year just spending millions of dollars to paint over the problem. Imagine how many social problems we could fund with $4 million spent on graffiti paint out last year. Property is being damaged, but more importantly, lives are being damaged, especially youthful lives that are being damaged. There isn't an adequate time this morning to explain why a graffiti hotline and phone app will make a difference in the next budget, along with a policy change that doesn't just ask citizens to report graffiti. So please, when I contact your office, allow me 20 to 30 minutes of your time. I promise to be prepared. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Elizabeth Venerable. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Okay, so land use and livability to me is a subset of planning. And when I think about planning and unplanned consequences, and I put it together with homelessness, I think about the lack of shelter and I think about the lack of planning for shelter. And I see all these other consequences, these collateral consequences, not only to the city and residents, but also to the homeless themselves, because of lack of shelter. And I hear people's concerns about being a new Los Angeles or a new whatever on the West Coast because of Martin v. Boise. But really, if you look into solutions for planning for homelessness, especially where resources already exist, for example, with CAS, where they have money for an additional, I believe, 500 beds to add to their 460, I think. And that would nearly double the size of CAS. Right now we have about 400 campers around the outside of CAS. And we're blaming it on the campers. We're blaming the lack of housing. And I saw that you have affordable housing in this, and that's good, although I saw that nothing comes from the general fund, so to me, that's less good. But they're HUD, so that's fine. I just would encourage you to look at this from a planning issue as opposed to from a threat issue. Because when people have housing, they are more likely to receive services and be open to them. It's very hard to comply with some of the restrictions on the services if you are living on the streets, meetings and all different kinds of things. And so I guess I'll close by saying housing first is generally accepted as a solution to homelessness. And I think by planning for it, you will have less unplanned homelessness. So, thank you.
Thank you. We next move to the minutes of meetings for our January 15th. Are there any corrections, or is there a motion?
I'll move approval.
Second. Okay, all in favor? Aye. And the ayes have it. The next two items are on consent. I do want to say on item 3, I want to thank Councilman Garcia for all your hard work, especially in the Roosevelt issue. So with that, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. The last items are all information only. We do have one speaker on one of the information items. That's Jeannie Summer. Item 6, do you want to come up? Thank you.
Good morning again. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. The Oak Cross Cup Park from Thomas to McDowell was opened in 1997. The park is a testament to the partnership, the value of partnerships with neighbors, neighborhood associations, the Flood Control District Board of Directors, the Flood Control Advisory Board, City of Phoenix Mayor and Council, the Phoenix Parks and Recreation Board, SRP, and the U.S. Department of Interior's Bureau of Reclamation. By the time we got all those people around the table, it took a while, but we're really proud of what that partnership has accomplished. Unfortunately, the park's master plan was never built out, and there hasn't been any improvements, and the park is suffering from minimal maintenance. Please consider directing some money to the Old Cross Cup Park from McDowell to Thomas in the next budget. It needs lots of help, and the Park and Recreation Department's attention, please. Thank you.
Thank you. And with the items 5 through 8, do any of you want any additional information?
Yes,
Okay. Go.
sorry.
You're making this meeting really long.
I know.
Just kidding.
On number 7,
7?
I'm wondering if we have a plan, if we have a dream and identified parcels that we hope to acquire in the future one way or the other. And if so, if you could just tell me a little bit about them.
Sure, Madam Chair, members of the subcommittee. There is a plan. Many years ago, there were many parcels that were identified for the preserve. This is one of those areas that we're going to go to auction in September, and it is up in the northern part of the preserves, close to the Sonoran Desert Drive. And so this would be our next identifiable parcel. We do have a few individuals who are looking to possibly donate some land too, and those areas we've looked at, and if the donation comes through, those are part of what the plan was as well.
Can we give a tax deduction if they donate the land?
Madam Chair and Councilwoman Williams, yes, indeed. In fact, we have one coming through right now that's just 2 little small lots in the Phoenix Mountain Preserves that will be a donation tax write-off for that particular individual, and it's a donation as well.
Okay, good, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and lastly, are there any future agenda items anyone would wish to see at this time? Okay, meeting's adjourned.